This group changed how I see Bubble. For the past year now, I've reviewed the bubbles of NMIXX, TWICE, Stray Kids, and very soon, ITZY. And this whole time, I've been reviewing them with the exact same expectations. But this group may have changed that forever, but not in the way you think. Who is this group? The group that forever changed my perspective on not just Bubble, but on K-pop as a whole, is a group that you probably haven't heard before. Because this group is CRAXY. Now stop, get your hand off the mouse right now, you have to listen to me. Doing this Bubble series for the past year now made me realize how much influence it has. As the Bubble guy of the K-pop content creator sphere, I have a duty to use this influence to bring more love and more attention to the groups that I cover. And it's thanks to you that the groups I've covered thus far have gained more love and support for all of their respective bubbles. So please, don't do this for me, do this for them. Because CRAXY is not only a true diamond in the rough, but this underappreciated, what the locals call a nugu group, has single-handedly changed my perspective on Bubble and K-pop in general. Why? We'll get there soon. And by the end of this video, you might find your perspective completely changed as well. But without further delay, I subscribed to CRAXY's Karin, hyejin, wooah, and swan's bubbles for a month. What's it like subscribing to CRAXY's bubble? And if you can only choose one member to subscribe to, who should you choose? And for those of you who don't know CRAXY at all, are they a group I recommend subscribing to in the first place? As always, I had 3 simple rules for this challenge. Rule number 1, a bubble message includes all text, photos, and videos sent by the artist. That means if Karin sends 2 texts, 3 selfies, and 1 video, each counts as a message, totaling out to 6 messages altogether. Rule number 2, all bubble messages are tracked throughout the day on my time, which is 5:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Any messages that come in between 10:01 p.m. and 5:29 a.m. are immediately counted for the following day. And lastly, rule number 3, to conduct all of my counts, I log into Bubble once at 9:50 p.m. to tally up all the message numbers at the same time. All of CRAXY's bubble messages aren't to be open and read until 9:50 p.m. in the evening. Your usual disclaimers apply here. Please remember, K-pop idols are humans too. Every idol that you see on Bubble uses Bubble differently, so please don't let the number of messages sent or not sent negatively impact your outlook on their bubble. Secondly, we are going to be using the results from the NMIXX, the TWICE, and the Stray Kids bubble videos as a light comparison throughout the entirety of this video. We now have 3 groups data to better visualize the bubble experience of CRAXY. And we get to add CRAXY to the SYJofficial Bubble Hall of Fame. And lastly, please keep in mind that there really is no perfect time to subscribe to an idol's bubble, let alone do this challenge in the first place. Listen friends, if I wait for the perfect time to subscribe to them, these videos will never be made. So really, thank you so much for being so patient with me, especially for the next episode that you all have been waiting on. From August 12th to September 12th, I subscribed to all 4 CRAXY members on Star's Bubble, kept track of all messages each member sends per day, and entered them into a Google Sheet. But why August 12th as the start date? Well, August 12th was the day we actually met CRAXY in person, spent the day with them, and what led to this video in the first place. You guys want us to subscribe to your bubble soon?
Yes!
You guys heard it here first! When we at SYJofficial make a promise, we keep that promise, especially to the idols that we love so much here. Also, we chose to subscribe to CRAXY's bubbles throughout the entirety of the K-pop Breakout Tour 2024 in the US and Canada. That way, we can really see if subscribing to a group when they're touring actually impacts their bubble activity or not. As I mentioned earlier, CRAXY is on Star's Bubble, another version of Bubble separate from the JYP iteration we're so used to seeing on the channel. You can subscribe to one member of CRAXY for $3.99 per month. But if you want to subscribe to all 4 CRAXY members at the same time, you can do so for a discounted $12.99 per month. The night after meeting CRAXY, I knew I had to subscribe to their bubbles immediately. CRAXY said it themselves, they use Bubble every day. That's one of the biggest pluses an idol group's bubble can have. They love to just talk with Crown, their fandom, even if it's just like, having lunch now, or back from practicing, or what are you doing type of messages, just to keep a consistent communication with their fans.
We almost send whole days, right?
Yeah, we send every day.
Every day?
Like, good morning.
Yeah.
We're gonna have lunch and dinner, something like this, casual thing. Yeah, we always send.
It's because we really love to communicate with Crown.
Yeah.
So when we have time, we always talk with Crown.
Yes.
With Bubble.
We didn't talk with us.
Yeah.
We just talk. Everyone talked with Bubble.
Yes, yes.
So here today, we'll put our best friends' words to the test to see if their word holds true.
눈빛으로. 네, 나가봐.
This is Karin, probably the member that drew the most of your attention thanks to that bright orange hair of hers. She's CRAXY's main dancer, rapper, and resident orange cat. Karin's bubble experience is funny to me personally, but before we get into that, let's talk about her message numbers. From August 12th to September 12th, Karin sent a total of 480 messages, averaging roughly to 15 messages per day. On any given day, Karin can send anywhere between 8 and 36 messages, and out of the 32 days of the challenge, Karin only missed one day. And that one day that she missed was the same day we met CRAXY. Like, this is wild. We have first-hand experience with K-pop idols and real-life bubble usage. Now, the reason why I find Karin's bubble experience so funny is because of how much her texting style is so identical to her IRL personality. Okay, so you know how people text like they speak? It's a step further for Karin. When you see Karin perform, she's this fierce centerpiece with merciless charisma and a fiery look in her eyes. However, meeting CRAXY in August, her offstage persona is the complete reverse of that. She is so bouncy and she makes little noise like and talks with a lot of aegyo. She's just very cat-like in every sense of the analogy. And the same can be said about her bubble because she has not gone one day without using cat emotes like these. In fact, I can't even imagine Karin anymore without her braiding her hair into cat ears like this. Karin typically uses bubble to check in with Crown very frequently. Messages like, "Crown, did you sleep well?" and "Everyone, you did a great job today fighting for tomorrow" are very popular. In fact, this is a very common factor amongst all 4 of the CRAXY members. They just really love checking in on us. The one factor that sets Karin apart from the other members is her use of, for lack of a better term, cute and colorful emotes. She also uses these little animated animal emotes like dinosaurs and chickens to further bring her messages more to life. Like these emotes, Karin is one of the more animated members of CRAXY on Bubble. Another funny factor of Karin's bubble, you know how her hair is orange as of now, right? Karin's had this orange hair since I think June 2024, right? And I believe to this day she still has that orange hair. Well, since then, I don't know if this is the case for pre-May 2024, but Karin would always use these orange heart emojis. Just seeing the orange hearts with the orange hair, like, it just tickles my brain in all of the right places. Another commonality across all of CRAXY's bubbles is that they use Bubble throughout their entire workday. Meaning they would send messages like, "Just finished practice, get to go back to the dorm now," or "We arrived safely at the hotel." Karin is one of the members that do this more frequently than the other 3. She also sends lots of food pictures and travel photos when CRAXY is on tour in the States, and Karin directly replies to fans' messages on Bubble as well, regardless of language. In my observation with CRAXY's bubbles, I noticed there being Korean messages from fans, some from English, and some in Chinese. Getting to talk with Karin in person, I'd say she's the least fluent in English, but you can tell she has a general understanding of English when English-speaking fans talk with her. Her bubble messages are so bright and fun to the point where if she sends a simple message saying, "Nya," it will instantly bright up your day. I said it before, Karin is pretty much a cat in human form. Think of your stereotypical orange kitten as a person. That's Karin and her bubble in a nutshell. Karin won't overwhelm you with messages because she uses Bubble very healthily with her 15 messages per day average. That's not bad at all. CRAXY's resident orange cat gets the SYJofficial stamp of approval.
하나, 둘, 셋. 너무 가져. 하나, 둘, 셋.
This is hyejin, one of CRAXY's lead rappers, their lead dancer, and not only one of the most solid vocalists I've ever heard in my life, but one of the nicest idols I've ever met in my life. Am I sprinkling my CRAXY fan meet experience throughout this whole video? Yes. It's my video, dang it! I get to include the bits that I want, you're gonna enjoy it! For many of you, this is your first exposure to CRAXY, and by me covering their bubble, I'm helping you see the human side of the idol especially. When I met hyejin, and when you meet someone for the first time, right, you'd introduce yourself, right? I said, "Hi hyejin, I'm Nathan, nice to meet you." And then she said, "Oh, Nathan? You have a really cool name. I never met anyone named Nathan before." Now granted, Nathan is not a real name by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it's pretty common. I am not not that special. But it makes sense though, it would be a rare name in South Korea. But out of those precious 60 seconds that I had with Hyejin, she spent half of that talking about my name. She was just so fascinated by my name. Like man, she's so nice. Like, all CRAXY are so nice. But diving into her message numbers, Hyejin sent a total of 651 messages in the 32 days of the challenge. This is actually the highest number of messages sent by any of the CRAXY members, so revealing it right now, Hyejin wins! Yay! But let's keep going, friendos. With her 651 message total, she averages to a healthy 20.3 messages per day, undoubtedly giving you your subscription's worth. And on any given day, Hyejin can send anywhere between 7 to 67 messages. Hyejin may have the highest message count, but where she slightly stumbled was her attendance. Hyejin missed 7 out of the 32 days of the challenge, a full week's worth of interaction. Now, I remember what you all said in previous videos. Oh, Nathan, you just subscribe to them when they're on tour. Of course they're not going to be on Bubble as much. But is that objectively true? Let's take a look-see. On screen right now is the full tour schedule for the K-pop Breakout Tour 2024 and all of Hyejin's message counts from mid-August to the 32-day mark in mid-September. Hyejin missed August 12th, the day we met CRAXY, so it makes sense she didn't log in, she was busy talking to us. But she also missed August 29th, September 2nd, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 11th. Cross-referencing with the K-pop Breakout Tour show dates, these are the dates that align with Hyejin's missed dates on Bubble. Out of those 7 days that she missed, 4 of them were due to the K-pop Breakout Tour, and 1 of them was because of me. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Sorry, I introduced bias into the challenge. Oopsie, sorry. Uh-oh, my bad. Uh-oh. Sorry. The other dates she missed were most likely just traveling days or resting days, which I wouldn't put it past Hyejin for choosing to rest, just to be in the moment and being with her members. With Hyejin's Bubble, she seems to use it for the longest stretches of time out of all the CRAXY members. On one of the challenge days, I was on one of those like very long company-wide meetings, right? On that same day, Hyejin was pretty much sending messages almost every other minute within that hour. And that was the day she peaked at 67 messages on a tour day. That was their Toronto stop. Now, compared to the anomalies of Mount Solyun or the great quakes of Felix Lee, this bubble spammage is definitely not as overwhelming. In fact, it's quite pleasant. Whenever Hyejin messages, it's more like a good friend checking up on you. There's this kind of endearment to Hyejin's messages. Like a few weeks ago, CRAXY had a performance that they had to travel for. She was replying to a comment about getting carsick, right? And she said, I usually look outside the window when I get carsick, if you know what I mean. Water is a must. I drink a lot of water, so you have to drink a lot of water. Anyways, I'm getting carsick too, so I'm gonna take a look at the world outside. Like, there is this charm to Hyejin's bubble that I just can't seem to put my finger on. I can liken her bubble to anyone's SYJOfficial, where she would always, and I mean always, ask how you're doing, checking up on you, or if you're having a good day. And on top of that, Hyejin would never fail to tell you, you did a good job today. Or if your day is just getting started, have a great day today. Now look, I know this all sounds very basic, but you'd be surprised to see how uncommon this practice is on Bubble. Hyejin's best friend charm is what really drives her Bubble for me. She may have missed the most days out of all the CRAXY members, but she definitely makes up for it in the amount of quality time she logs into Bubble for. Think of that one friend who hasn't talked to you in a while, then all of a sudden they hit you up with a text message and you just play catch up for an hour over text. That's what Hyejin's Bubble is like. Hyejin may be the most normal CRAXY member, but she has just this endearing charm to her Bubble at the end of the day that just gives you a sense of comfort. Her Bubble may remind me of my ultimate bias, but Hyejin herself is very unique where she just doesn't remind me of any other idol. Her everydayness is what, ironically, makes her unique. You see this? You see this awesome human being right here? This is Kim Wooah. She is CRAXY's leader, their main rapper, and my best friend and soulmate! During the fan meet, right, when me and Wooah were talking, we actually learned that we were both born on the same year, and we share the same MBTI. We're both ENFJs.
Yeah.
You and I are born the same year. We were both 1997.
Right.
And our MBTI is the same. We're both ENFJ and 1997.
Soulmate.
Best friend, soulmate.
Oh, change.
Oh.
Change it.
You jealous?
Yes. Sorry.
And both of us were like, oh wait, we're the same? Oh, and we were just like both freaking out at the fan meet table, and we were making like such a loud scene, like we were both like resonating off of each other's personalities so much. And this is coming from my sister's perspective, but apparently it got so like crazy to the point where like the staff turned to my sister and said like, whoa, wooah really loves Nathan, doesn't she? Like, and then wooah called me her soulmate. It became clear that I have chosen my bias in CRAXY, and my bias in CRAXY has chosen me. Like, guys, I'm like actual friends. I'm actually friends with an actual K-pop idol. Like, ah! Right, wooah's bubble. Wooah sent a total of 455 messages in our 32-day time frame, averaging 14.21 messages per day. On any given day, she can message 1 to 50 times, and out of the 32-day time frame, she missed none of them. A perfect attendance award for the perfect bias. Wooah, you're killing it. As for her bubble experience, man, it's a fun ride. Wooah in real life is really energetic and playful. So much to the point where their maknae Swan told me to be careful around her.
We have to be careful.
Why?
Energetic person.
No.
My sister and I have this inside joke where Wooah is quote-unquote just twice as Dahyun in hip-hop font because she's so energetic and playful. Her bubble is equally so. Again, I don't mean these comparisons as anything mean-spirited or with any disrespect whatsoever. It's just to give you a better visualization of the impressions that CRAXY gives me with figures you might be familiar with. In Bubble, Wooah would normally talk about CRAXY's hijinks on the road. So during the K-pop breakout tour and all of CRAXY's adventures throughout the US, Wooah apparently bought 4 pairs of shoes? In Bubble, she's like, I'm in trouble again, Crown. I bought so many shoes here. I think I have about like 4 boxes. How am I gonna fit all of this in my luggage? And then one Crown commented, I'm gonna call you Shua from now on, Wooah. And then she just rolls with it. I'm Kim Shua now. 여러분 안녕하세요. CRAXY의 Shua입니다. And she also bought this adorable ghost backpack during CRAXY's time in the States. And guess what she names it? Booah. She is my soulmate. For those of you dog lovers, Wooah also sends many pictures of her doggy, Komi. Y'all know how it works around here. Pet pictures are always a win. Bias aside, Wooah's bubble is nearly the whole package. She sends pictures on CRAXY's travels, videos, voice clips, Komi pictures, Korean and English replies because she's the most fluent member in English, direct replies. Wooah's bubble is just win after win after win. Perfect attendance record, direct interactions. The only thing that could make Wooah's bubble better is if she uses Bubble Live. And for the first time in SYJofficial bubble history, we've actually had an idol actually acknowledging my messages and directly replying to me. After I uploaded the CRAXY interview, which you should check out by the way, it is severely underappreciated, it hurts me. I took to Bubble when Wooah logged in and started messaging. I said, Wooah, I uploaded your San Jose video. CRAXY interview is live. Thank you for waiting. And to my surprise, she said, why are you here? Lol. My first direct reply ever. But it doesn't stop there, friends. When I went to the breakout tour, right, I asked all of the CRAXY members if they saw the interview that we posted, and they said yes, we loved it, we watched it at the hotel, like, CRAXY watched my video! Look, y'all, I know I try to stay as neutral as possible with our bubble reviews, but when an actual K-pop idol acknowledges your existence, right, let alone watches your video, remembers who you are and that you exist, how can I not? And she also like hugged my sister like right before leaving the breakout tour, right? And then she said this, I heard it from right behind me, she said, I'm gonna miss you, like... Absolutely subscribe to my soulmate. 1000 out of 10. CRAXY Wooah, best bubble 2024. Smash the hype button, baby. Winner, winner, CRAXY dinner.
I love you guys. Ooh, last but not least is CRAXY's beloved maknae and main vocalist, Swan. I've heard on the grapevine that Swan was actually the member of CRAXY that caught the most attention amongst the crowds on the breakout tour, and can you blame them? it's Swan, only the most underrated main vocalist of all time. But back to the challenge with Swan's bubble, and with my raving of wooah aside, is one of the most entertaining bubble of CRAXY in my eyes. Throughout our bubble time frame, Swan sent a total of 296 messages, averaging roughly to 9.25 messages per day. On any given day, Swan can send anywhere between 1 and 35 messages. And out of the 32 days of the challenge, Swan missed 7 days just like hyejin. But wait, some of you may be saying, Swan sent the least amount of messages out of the 4 CRAXY members, how could her bubble be the most entertaining? Well, remember friends, the bubble challenge is all about message quality. This goes for all of the CRAXY members, but Swan's bubble just has this authenticity and sincerity to it. And to fully understand where I'm coming from, I have to talk about Swan as a person first. Swan is honestly a being of pure positive energy. When you talk to her, she's actively listening to you and she's genuinely interested in what you have to say. She maintains eye contact with you. You feel seen. Her facial expressions are genuine. And you never get the notion that she's doing it because she has to or because it's her job, but she's actually savoring those moments that she has with you, and that is beautiful. Swan's bubble is no different. Like, this woman types like she talks, full of expression and full of emotion. If she's happy, her texts are bright, full of life, lots of playfulness. If she's sad or inconvenienced by something or sorry about something, she will literally fill the chat with yous. In fact, most of her messages are full of multiple yous because she misses bubble more often than the other members, or other reasons that make her feel a full slurry of emotions. Karin's bubble may be colorful with cat emotes and her literal hair color, but Swan's bubble is colorful with her expressions and her texting style. Swan's bubble usage, however, is on the lower side, but for more relatable reasons than you think. In the period of the entire challenge, Swan couldn't come to bubble for 2 main reasons. One, she's all out of energy for the day from CRAXY's activities, but makes up for it the next day she does have the energy to go on bubble. And number 2, she broke her phone. In CRAXY Town, Swan is known for being pretty clumsy, so though my heart hurts for her broken phone, this is surprisingly on brand for her. One more thing I noticed about Swan's bubble is that her messages run a little longer than the other members in terms of message length, meaning she would send more paragraph style or multi-sentence messages than just the standard 1 reaction, 1 sentence at a time. Kinda like Momo's bubble from Twice. And since she is the second most fluent English speaker in CRAXY, I noticed she gives the most English replies compared to the rest of her members. Swan just has so much love to give, it's almost overwhelming at times. I sat next to her and felt it at point blank range. She's so playful and so expressive. She brightens up your day just by being there. Like, Swan isn't even my bias, and I feel this way about her. Like, how many idols can you say the same for? So typically for this bubble challenge, we dock points for absences, but the best way to make up for it is message quality, and Swan's message quality is an easy 10 out of 10. Her message numbers aren't the overwhelming thing because she doesn't flood you with triple-digit days like 2 other JYP idols I love so much. The only overwhelming factor about Swan is the love she has to give, and this is a good thing. Bubble experiences are subjective and unique to the user, but I can say with certainty, everyone is going to feel Swan's love and concern for Crown with her messages. Now, before we get to the final results, some of you may be asking, like, this is great, Nathan, but hey, you never talked about CRAXY before, so why are you so, and how are you so passionate about them now? It all started in kcon LA 2023. My sister and I were shopping around the K-beauty section, taking a break from the many high touches we had that weekend, and suddenly we see a 4-member group performing at the kcon stage. Like, this is the kcon stage right here, and this is where we were at, but our view was clear. That group was CRAXY. I remember seeing Karin's bright red hair at the time, and they were performing their song Undercover. And by the end of their set, I was thinking, whoa, this group's pretty solid. And when they performed as pre-show for M Countdown, I was even more intrigued by them for their stage presence. Fast forward to kcon LA 2024, I was pleasantly surprised to see them again at the connecting stage where they were playing this floating plastic bag game, which deepened my fascination with them even further because they were just that entertaining there. So you could imagine how hyped I was to see them perform for pre-show for kcon again. Also, shout out to my friends at Homeground who were also backup dancers for them this year. But speaking of Homeground, my friend Kevin from Homeground is one of the co-founders of Cloud K-pop, one of the K-pop stores based in the Bay Area and a strong supporter of the channel. And he actually reached out to me a month after KCON and he said, "Hey Nathan, as you might have heard, we're hosting a fan sign event with CRAXY. We'd like to invite you as a creator to film content with them." And when I tell you that my heart rate spiked to the point where it actually physically hurt from the excitement, I have never said yes so hard. And with the fan sign event came the interview you all saw. You did see it, right? Did you? Because I think you should watch it. It's very underappreciated. It is a crime. There are 22,000 of you out there. These are rookie numbers. This is some of the best content we have on the channel. I'm begging you. But this was my realization with meeting CRAXY that ultimately changed how I see Bubble and K-pop as a whole. Getting to spend the day with CRAXY, talking with them both on and off camera, and getting to know them not only as K-pop idols, but as people, most importantly, opened my eyes not only to the whole other world of K-pop nugudom, but that these smaller, underappreciated group, the groups that our industry calls nugu, have so much passion and love that goes unseen by the majority of the K-pop fan community. It made me feel happy that I was given this incredibly blessed and privileged opportunity in getting to know an actual K-pop group, but it also made me really sad at the same time that not a lot of people know about them and their efforts and their talent aren't as appreciated as they should be. Now remember that statement, because we're going to come back to it, okay? Even though CRAXY are very aware that they're a smaller group from a smaller company, this doesn't seem to discourage them at all. No matter how small their audience is, the genuine enthusiasm they have when they interact with their fans is virtually the same as if there was a stadium full of us. Like, they were so ecstatic, they were so thankful just seeing somebody there supporting them. The numbers at the end of the day were near insignificant to them. That's just extra for them. The passion, the love, the glimmer of hope in their eyes that these quote-unquote nugu groups have for their craft is equal to, if not more than, what popular groups outwardly showcase these days. And with this inspiring sentiment, looking at CRAXY is like looking in the mirror. CRAXY reminds me of me. I've been doing YouTube for almost 10 years now, and despite how hard I've been trying, I'm still rather small in our little niche of K-pop. My content definitely isn't for everyone, and I am nowhere near the status of K-pop channels you think of when you're asked, "Oh, who is your favorite K-pop content creator?" I have been struggling for years to get to where I am now, and there were times where I questioned if the pain, the sleepless nights, the anxiety was even worth it anymore. And it's hard because I've virtually done everything you can think of in the K-pop content creation world. I was a music video reaction channel at one point, I was a cover dancer, I joined a dance team at one point, I even removed myself entirely from the channel and just became a disembodied voice. And the struggle became even stronger, especially after pouring so many editing hours into one video only for it to flop and not perform well. An anxiety all content creators face. But it wasn't until last year where I realized, as long as my videos are helping someone, even one person out there, that's what truly matters to me. As long as I'm doing my part in bringing humanity back to K-pop, one video at a time, 1 minute at a time, that's how I know I can rest easy at the end of the day. And the same more than likely applies with these smaller groups overlooked by a majority of our community. When I look at groups like CRAXY, I see myself. I never knew how much I related to quote-unquote nugu groups until I met CRAXY. I formed a kinship with them. I formed an actual friendship with them. No delulu involved, like a real actual friendship. That's why I love them so much and how I became so attached to them so fast. And as far as Bubble goes, these message numbers, these attendance numbers, the averages, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I mean, yes, they matter to an extent. I'm doing this series for a reason. But just because a K-pop idol doesn't use Bubble for one reason or another doesn't make them any less of a person. And at the same time, if an idol uses Bubble every single day, It doesn't make them any more of an idol than others. It doesn't make them any more of a person compared to others. Bubble exists for K-pop idols to communicate with their fans and vice versa. It's a tool, it's a bridge. It doesn't matter if the group is from YG or JYP or SM or Hype or a small company that only a select few people know. It's what each user, both idol and fan, gets out of the platform and why they use it. Now, I can't say for you or the idols, right? But for me, I choose to use Bubble to directly support my favorite K-pop idols. Not just monetarily with all the subscriptions and whatnot, but with my words. I choose to subscribe to learn even more about the human side of my favorite K-pop idols. Even that slim chance, that's enough for me. This is why I subscribe to Bubble. What's yours? With all of my sentiments with CRAXY aside, let's get to their final results, okay? In ascending order, Swan is 4th place with 296 messages, wooah is 3rd with 455, Karin is 2nd with 480, and hyejin is 1st place with 651 messages. From the entirety of the K-pop breakout tour cycle and the Bubble Challenge, CRAXY sent a total of 1,784 messages. As far as attendance goes, Swan and hyejin tie for 4th place with 7 missed days, Karin as 2nd with only 1 missed day, and wooah as 1st with no missed days. By conventional means, we would just give 1st place to hyejin and call it a day. But we here at SYJofficial, our standards are much higher than that. Everyone subscribes to K-pop Bubble for different reasons and have their own criteria for what makes a bubble worth it or not. But the great thing about CRAXY, however, is that if you are a bang for your buck subscriber who wants to get their $3.99 a month's worth, all 4 CRAXY members are safe bets. Even if we're looking at hyejin's and Swan's week of missing Bubble, missing 7 days of the month really isn't that bad if you think about it. Remember friends, we had the likes of Han from Stray Kids who virtually went a whole month without using Bubble. Or Mina from Twice who missed 27 out of the 31 days of their challenge. Whoever your bias in CRAXY may be, they are all safe to subscribe to. All 4 of them will give you your $3.99 a month worth. If you're the kind of Bubble subscriber that wants your idol to talk with you, check up on you, and have active conversations with as a collective fandom, hyejin and wooah are great options. If you're the kind of subscriber who wants bright, colorful, and entertaining bubbles, I'd recommend Karin's or Swan's. If you want a more chill yet high quality interaction experience with Bubble, I recommend Swan and hyejin. No matter how you slice it or what kind of Bubble user you are, every single CRAXY member is worth subscribing to, all bias aside. And finally, let's add CRAXY to the SYJofficial Bubble Hall of Fame. Right off the bat, none of the CRAXY members are on Mount Solyun or Bubble Ghost category. Their messages and cadences don't feel overwhelming at all, and none of them disappear for extremely long periods of time. All 4 members are consistent users of Bubble. If it's anywhere CRAXY ranks in the Bubble Hall of Fame, it's right here in the upper middle echelons of S-class and mid-range. God, I need to think of a better name for the mid-range. Talking numbers-wise, Swan fits with the likes of NMIXX's Jiwoo, Dahyun from Twice, and IN, Lino, and Bangchan from Stray Kids. However, we're talking January 2024 producer mode baseline Bangchan, not unhinged February Valentine's Day Delulu Bangchan. That's right, Swan from CRAXY with her 7 days of missing Bubble and 296 messages was able to match the same message levels as a baseline Bangchan when he is cooking albums and can't use Bubble that often. That is a compliment to both Swan of CRAXY and Bangchan of Stray Kids. If Swan never broke or lost her phone, there was a chance she could have matched with her fellow members wooah and Karin in the 400s range. Speaking of which, wooah and Karin actually exceeded all members of Twice and matched with Stray Kids' Felix's numbers with 455 and 480 respectively to Felix's 421 and 494. From a sheer numbers perspective, this places our favorite orange pirate cat and my soulmate in the S-class tier. However, the final member hyejin exceeds all of CRAXY with her 651 messages, placing her with the likes of Haewon and Lily from NMIXX. Not quite matching their numbers, but within that same tier regardless. The other NMIXX members though are either ways below or above her. This isn't a negative towards hyejin at all though, because all of CRAXY's Bubble usage is not overwhelming to the likes of Mount Solyun and not as underwhelming as the least active Bubble users from Twice. They snugly and securely fit with most consistent users of Stray Kids and NMIXX with Felix, Bangchan, Ian, Haewon, and Lily. Now, addressing the elephant in the room, I don't even know CRAXY, you might say. I'm not even Crown. Why should I subscribe to a group I'm not even familiar with? Why should I subscribe to them when I don't stand them? And that is a very valid question, and you don't have to. But remember, all of this is meant to give you a general bird's eye view of what an idol group's bubble is like, and to open your eyes to what you might be missing out on and kind of pick your interest at the same time. Before meeting CRAXY, I knew the term nugu groups, and I knew nugu groups existed. In fact, honestly, I'm still a little bit iffy on using that term so freely in this video, because it kind of feels like an insult, and I don't want to insult any of these amazing groups, but I never stand any of them, let alone gave any of them a chance. Not out of Big Four supremacy or I only stand popular group sentiments, but I just never gave them a chance. And that's what I'm saying. You'll never know what you're missing out on unless you give them a chance. I had no idea there was a group that had such a strong sisterhood, such a strong passion for their job, unlike any popular group I've ever seen before. If it wasn't for Cloud K-pop and kcon, and some gaslighting from China, I would have never had the chance of meeting them, let alone learning about them in the first place. And if it wasn't for my sister urging me to go to the K-beauty section in 2023, I never would have seen that stage that brought CRAXY into my life in the first place. So before considering subscribing to their bubbles, give their music a listen. My personal favorites are Poison Rose, Nugudom, and Stupids. If you're a fan of Dreamcatcher, Young Posse, Kiss of Life, or any group with that hip-hop, bad girl, girl crush, crazy vibes, you will absolutely fall in love with CRAXY. So, are CRAXY's words of using bubble consistently every day true? To an extent, yeah. Do tours impact bubble usage? They do, but not to the drastic extent that we're all thinking of. Folks, it can't get any truer than this. We have first-person testimonies of their bubble usage in real time. Virtually perfect attendance from half of their members and very relatable accounts of not logging in all the time. And such high-quality messages and interactions from all 4 members. CRAXY easily earns the SYJofficial stamp of approval. The only way CRAXY could have solidified their bubble usage is if on the night of that interview, I could have asked them, could you guys message something on Bubble right now? Which I highly would have doubted they would have been able to do in the first place. Their phones were most likely with their manager. But seriously though, everyone, give CRAXY a chance. Give groups in quote-unquote nugudom a chance. Heck, disregard the label nugu altogether. If you're looking for a K-pop group with a heart of gold, CRAXY is that group. Both their bubbles and their music are worth it, without an inkling of a doubt. Should I continue doing episodes dedicated to these underappreciated groups like CRAXY between big episodes like the upcoming ITZY video? All of that is up to you. Let me know and more in the comment section down below. Thank you everyone, not just for enjoying this video and making it this far, but hopefully with this I've introduced a new group to you all with more than enough justice. With all this said, consider checking them out, supporting CRAXY, and giving their music a listen. As always everyone, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ring the bell icon today to make sure you guys aren't missing a thing and to join our nation today. And with that everyone, that's my time. My name is Nathan, SYJofficial. Until then, see you guys next time. Bye.